Welcome to Magnetizing Millions. It's Chris and Colette here again, and we're so grateful that you've decided to spend another few minutes with us watching some stuff that we really care about. And today we wanted to talk to you about fear.
Yes.
And really freeing yourself from the fear. And Colette's got a lot to share on this.
Yes. What's interesting about fear, you can imagine it as a circle. That means you are in the middle of the circle and you hit the walls no matter where you go. You are in an illusion and you don't know how to get out of it. And really, fear is a program in the brain that looks like reality. It feels like real, and you are hitting walls. So we have to break through that in order to be able to have a different viewpoint on life. It just completely fixes you on a viewpoint.
And I think sometimes we don't even know our fears.
No.
I mean, my greatest fear was to be in a certain person or a certain place in my life, and to not show up as successful. And it was such a big fear, but I didn't know it was a fear. See, I just thought my whole life was there to inspire these people to move and shift their life. But in truth, I was just so fearful of me ever turning out like them. And fear creates, and I love the circle. I think it's like a bubble.
Yes.
It's like a glass bubble.
Yes.
And we can't move past it. So what would be, for you, some things that somebody listening, they've got a fear in their life, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of something. What would you suggest this person does to start shifting that fear?
The first thing to do, which is usually when you have a dog, for example, running after you and barking, what you want to do is run, okay? The best thing to do is stop, turn around, and look at the dog. So you have to know what is your fear exactly. And when you really look into it, it's going to look ridiculous after a while. You have to face it. You can't run away from it. So anxiety, for example, is the fear of the future, and that you don't even know what you're afraid of usually. And so you want to look at it and wonder, what is it that I'm totally afraid of? And when you go down to the core of it, you will see it's not that bad.
Right.
It's your fear of the fear that makes it frightening.
And here's what I would add to it as well, is get curious about it.
Yes.
And understand what it's there for. You see, we don't have any fear that is there without a reason. You see, when we find that reason, and we like to call it a root cause, where it started, is pour love into that fear, because it's there to do something for you. And I talk about this a lot, about it there being a pendulum, that if we push against it, it pushes back. You see, if we go there and we love the reason that fear is there for, if we show no resistance, if we own that fear, if we're there with it, then only from that place, it's kind of like jiu-jitsu, right? If you push in against someone, instead of going with it, get them on the same side as you, say, I love you, thank you for making sure I don't make mistakes in my future, fear of anxiety. Thank you so much, fear of rejection, so that I don't get ostracized by people I care about. Thank you, I love you, you've done such a good job at that. And then once you're with it and you're saying you've done great, align with that fear and ask, how can I get what I truly want? Yes. Because it's not that I don't want fear. It's not that I don't want to be rejected. It's that I want to be loved, you see, that I want to be accepted. And then this is my biggest tip, and I want you to get this, is everything you're seeing outside of you is inside of you. So if you've got a fear of rejection, you see, first love it and then notice where you're rejecting yourself.
Yes.
If you've got a fear of anxiety about what's going to happen in the future, first love it and then realize that that's here. If you stay without, you'll be without. If you go within, then you will be able to have everything else you want. So if you go without being within, you're not going to get there. And so I would suggest to really move and shift.
Yeah, I love that, which is just said. A friend of mine, a client of mine, was always criticized by one of his coach, a friend that was also a coach. And he was afraid of that, and he didn't like to be criticized. But after a while, he realized, am I criticizing? And then when he realized he was criticizing and jealous, like this guy was actually jealous, and he realized he was jealous. And when he healed that, man, the relationship went well. The outside world shifted immediately, and this person was not jealous anymore.
Yeah.
It's really a mirror.
It is a mirror. It is a mirror, and I love that, and I love that we have so much control, because when you're with it, when you love your fear and you're there, and then you realize that it's all you, and that it doesn't really exist, and that you're just a vibration floating around on a rock in space, and that you've just made this thing up, unless it's a real fear, right? Because there are real fears. Yes. Like, for example, if you're on the edge of a building and there is 1,000 stories underneath you, I don't know if that's a legitimate size, but if you're on a big building, that's a real fear. Yes. So fears are there for a reason. But sometimes, we make up these fears, and so when you align with it and love it, and you're there and you go, I own this is mine, I made this, and I thank you, but I want something different, you make that new choice, and then with the same intention that the fear was giving you, you move into a new reality, and you say, well, now I want it to be this way. And some people might be listening and going, this is a lot of hard work, and I want to invite them to something. I want to invite them to if you're watching this, and we haven't planned this, is I'd like to invite you to have a session with one of Colette's coaches, or even maybe with us, where you can look at this fear. So you can go to our website, and I'll put a little link on there where you can book a session where you can actually have your fear neutralized.
Yeah, very easily. That's what's different. You don't have to do the work. It's your brain will literally rewire itself in front of your own eyes, and you can just be free.
You can, free yourself from the fear.
Yes.
Understand that it's your own creation, and that responsibility it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for checking out our video today. I really appreciate you in every aspect of your being, and thanks for spending a bit of time with us. So if you watch this to the end, we appreciate you. Do us a favor. Our job is to try to get this message out and to help as many people. Comment below with any feedback or what it is that you're loving, what you'd like to see more of. Subscribe to this channel, and please share it with people who need to hear it. And check out our blog where you can get all of our trainings and access to everything else. Bye.